so yours is 2. So I'm going to turn yours up a little bit. Alrighty then, guys. I usually do an intro, but I'm like, whatever. I don't care. So today I have with me very special guests, 2 very, very young, extremely young. So young, I don't want to say how old they are. But it's Dayanara and returning guest, Jose. Second time on the podcast. What's going on, guys?
Hey, yo. How we doing?
Doing all right. Dayanara is here. She doesn't like to talk that much. So we're going to try to get her to talk.
It's going to be a challenge. We're going to hope.
Just so you know, you nodding does not really work for the podcast. So you're going to have to say stuff. But do you have any idea what movie we're going to watch right now?
No.
Okay, because I haven't told you. That's probably why. So we're going to watch the movie Mission Impossible, the very first one that came out in theaters. You guys, have you seen it?
No.
Okay, have you seen any of them at all?
No.
Okay. Interesting. Bruh.
I've contemplated watching them because I have access to, I think, on Paramount Plus, but I haven't.
Yeah, I think they're Paramount.
No.
Bro, they're such good movies. So, what can I say about this movie? So, this movie came out in 1996. Now, how old were you, Dayanara, in 1996?
I don't know. I wasn't even born yet.
Nope. And what about you, Jose?
I tampoco, no. I wasn't even born yet.
Okay. Another question. How old was your dad in 1996?
13.
He was probably my age.
He was 13 because he's from 83. And I think my dad has watched almost all of the Mission Impossible movies.
I really do enjoy them. I think they're really good movies. So do you have any idea what the movies are about?
No.
At all?
I've only seen like scenes, you could say, like on YouTube,
okay,
clips of it. So I just know they're a bit of action, Tom Cruise.
So yeah, basically Tom Cruise. They're just movies for Tom Cruise. So basically, these movies they follow this team called the IMF team, the Impossible Mission Force. Not making that up.
Okay.
And they basically do these spy missions that other people can't do. Basically, missions that are impossible. Get it?
Self-explanatory. Okay, I get you.
So these movies used to be a show back in the 60s, and then I think they got rebooted in the 80s. The characters are from the 80s, but not the actors, and they rebooted them. And the reason I wanted you guys to watch it is because there's a new one that's going to come out, which I think is the last one, supposedly going to be the last one that Tom Cruise is going to be in. It comes out in May. Now, question to you guys, and we discussed this a little bit with Jose, but you, Dayanara, what are some of your favorite movies?
Well, I really enjoyed like Marvel movies lately, so I would say one of those, like the first Captain America movie.
Okay.
But I also really enjoy princess movies, so.
Princess movies, like which ones?
Like Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, that's not a princess movie. That is a love story, a tale as old as time, if you will.
Amor.
That is honestly, like, I'm with you on that one. Beauty and the Beast is probably one of my favorite movies of all time.
I recently made Jose watch it because he apparently never watched it as a kid.
I never watched it.
You've never seen it, bro.
Never seen it.
Oh
And
my
she
God.
made me watch it about like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I was satisfied. I didn't like the way the Beast ended up looking.
Okay, we all agree on that.
I think everybody agrees that like he was much better as a beast.
As a beast, yeah.
Than as a weird looking prince.
But yeah.
I don't like the live version one.
Oh, no. Any live version movie is terrible.
No. I was so disappointed when I watched it. No.
Okay, so that's not a princess movie, just so we get that.
Okay.
That's one of
Okay.
my favorite movies of all time. Like, I not even like, oh, that's my favorite animated movie, or that's my favorite. No, that's my favorite, one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, I put
Okay.
that with Star Wars and The Matrix.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's what's up.
Another one, Tangled.
Tangled.
I like.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Never seen Tangled?
You've never seen?
No, I've never seen Tangled.
Oh,
The thing
you're
is,
showing
though,
your
like-
age right there.
Well, okay, that's what it is though, because I was already an adult when that movie.
It came
that
out in 2010, so that
not that
makes
it would
sense.
not that it would matter, honestly,
Okay,
but
okay. Have you seen Frozen?
yes, I have.
For us, that's one of the peak,
That's your
peak princess movie.
My favorite princess movie is Star Wars, the best princess ever,
Yeah, I agree.
Princess Leia.
I agree. Yeah.
or Wakanda Forever.
Okay. Yeah. I
Princess
I
Shuri.
can back that. Yeah.
I agree.
What are some other movies that you like? What about action movies? You said Captain America.
Yeah, that's one of them. I don't have any in mind.
Now, we talked about this with Jose. I keep
Yeah.
wanting to call you Tonio, but I'll just call you
You
Tonio.
can call me whatever.
Do you have any like specific memories when you were a kid watching any particular movie?
Yes. since I grew up with my dad, my uncles, and Jose, the movies that always come to my mind when I think about my childhood is like Fast and Furious or Transformers.
Those are the ones that you talked about too.
Yeah,
Is it because of family and whatnot?
I guess. Also, I mean, my uncles from my mom's side were very like cholos. So
Were
yeah, they were.
or are?
They were.
They were.
They got the look, but they
Elbows
got
out,
that.
side
They
to
don't got
side.
that sauce no more.
Oh, dude, what were they like older now? They have
Yeah,
kids.
they're older. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to be a cholo when you have like a mortgage and a kid.
Yeah. They still try to look. They still try to look intimidating, but they just can't no more.
You're like intimidating in a minivan or something. You can't look intimidating if you're driving around in a Suburban with like a car seat in it.
Exactly. No, come on.
All right. So yeah, those are really good movies. Well, I would say they were good until a certain point, and then I stopped caring about them. Do you still watch those
No.
Yeah.
I stopped whenever I saw that we have flying cars now.
in space?
Yeah.
So did I tell you when the last one that I got dragged to? Like one of the last ones I saw was
X.
no, it was like 7 or 8.
Okay.
I think it might have been 7. Where The Rock, they're somewhere
Okay.
on a submarine. They're on a submarine, and they throw a torpedo on the ice. So the torpedo is just on the ice, and The Rock
8. It's 8. I think
redirects
it's
it
8,
with his
yeah.
hands.
No way.
Yeah. He like grabs it. And he's like, "I'm strong and I'm The Rock," and he like moves. And I was like, okay, like
come on.
that's a bridge too far. Like for me, if they would have established in the beginning that this universe was like that, like if it was a Marvel type thing or like a superhero thing, I think I would have been more open to it. But they didn't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm just like, no, I can't.
The first one had like originality. It was like all family, neighborhood. I don't know. It had like a very good base.
I would even say until 4 or 5 when the
5.
like
I like the
4
Brazil one.
Brazil one.
That was
Brazil
my
one.
favorite one. My favorite one out of the whole saga. That's my favorite one.
Is that the one that introduces Gal Gadot?
No, they introduced her in 4 when Brian and
That's right. They come back
Toretto.
they back in LA.
Yeah, they're back in LA, and then they go to Mexico, and then they meet.
Oh,
her.
Letty dies. That's right.
And Letty
Spoiler alert.
dies. Yeah, spoiler alert. Yeah, I mean it's late anyway, so come on,
R.I.P.
come on.
R.I.P. Paul Walker. Oh my God. Click it or ticket. He died not too
crash.
far from my house. Like 10, 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, you said this. Yeah. Jeez.
My friend, so I think I said this too. I'm just probably retreading old stuff, but it was after a Pioneer meeting, I think,
No way.
that we went out to eat. And then my friend Victor, shout out to Victor, he told me, like, he was on his phone and he's like, oh, like Paul Walker died. And he's like, oh, it's not too far from here. Do you want to go? I'm like, no, I don't want to go.
He was heartbroken. He wanted to see his hero.
He was. Because
Uh,
he liked those movies and he was all into that
Aw.
car. Well, it's one of those things like where you want to be in the car culture, but you don't
course.
have money. So it's like,
okay.
but yeah. So when you were kids, did you watch a lot? Do you guys watch a lot of movies when you were kids? I mean, even now, you said you have Paramount Plus, so you watch movies all the time too.
Yeah. Ever since we were kids, I mean, we didn't have any apps back in the day, but what did we have?
The Thing.
What's it called?
A DVD player?
DVD.
I swear to God, I swear to God, Dayanara.
The Thing.
You know what it's called, okay?
You just
I
wanted to
just
say-
didn't remember.
Do you know what it's called? Don't act like in the ancient times.
Back in
that
your day.
Girl, I still have VHS tapes. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
We even had like a bag of discs, right?
A little album.
And what type of movies did we have? I forgot.
I don't
Pet Ghost
remember.
movies.
I remember we had like Chickmunk movies, the album.
Oh,
Alvin
yes,
and the
we
Chickmunks. We
did.
had all 3 of them, and then we had like Transformers, and then I don't know what other, but we had so many. We had like a good 30, 40.
Cantinflas.
Yes, those ones as well. Vicente.
You know what's funny about those cantiflas for the culture? This will probably come around Cinco de Mayo. That I really want to get into those cantifla movies, but I just like some of the jokes are good,
Yeah.
but I'm just like, that's I think how I feel about me showing you this movie now.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about cantiflas.
Okay.
I'm like-
It's a different time for you.
Oh, dude, 100%.
So how do your parents react to those movies?
I think my parents do like them, but they're not. You know, I don't mean this in a weird way or derogatory way or elitist, but you know, my parents aren't typical Mexican.
yeah.
They're very Americanized, which awesome.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. I put so much ice in my drinks. But
Okay.
so they do know Cantinflas, and I'm sure they saw them when they were kids, but they're not like about like watching those, like really. And for me too, like I wouldn't say Mexican, but comedy in Spanish, I get it, but sometimes I don't find it funny. So like Shrek will probably be one of the only movies that I
Funny in Spanish.
It's funny in Spanish. It's funnier in Spanish. SpongeBob is pretty funny in Spanish. Rick and Morty, dude, is hilarious in Spanish. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious.
Can I let you in a secret?
What's up?
We've never watched SpongeBob nor Rick and Morty.
You've never seen SpongeBob before?
Never.
Well, probably
Rick and Morty is fine because it's not.
I know it's not a very family friendly show.
Yeah, no, it's not very friendly.
Well, probably SpongeBob whenever there was nothing else to watch. But
we were Disney kids.
Yeah.
On Nickelodeon.
We were Nickelodeon.
Yeah. We did watch Power Rangers on Nickelodeon though. The Power Rangers Samurai. That was like the best one.
Oh,
for
okay,
us.
wow. They went to Nickelodeon. I saw them when they were on Fox Kids.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, they I think the rights were sold to Nickelodeon and they did the show. They did like I think to this day they do Power Rangers on Nickelodeon.
So you know, I mean, this is just a hobby. I'm not trying to do this. I mean, if it goes anywhere, that'd be awesome, but I doubt it. But I was thinking about doing like this a version, but with like TV shows.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but like showing the person like one episode,
Oh, okay.
like not doing a bunch of them. And one of them was a SpongeBob episode. Some really funny ones.
that's what I'm into now, more than movies,
Shows.
series,
Which ones are you into?
K-dramas and all that.
Oh gosh, you're like the fourth person that's.
It's a sign, Brian.
Maybe I should look into that.
Yeah, you should watch some
I
K-dramas.
can't. I just can't.
I'll send you a list.
I can't. You know why? I don't mind movies or TV shows that are dramatic, but those are dramatic for the sake of being dramatic. You know, like they're over the top, and it's just like I can't.
I mean, they have to if they want good.
I had a friend who showed me a movie, and they were like, "Oh, it's so sad," and I watched it, and I was just like laughing the entire time because they were just like the way they were doing it was just like very like telenovelas. They were like, it was a Turkish movie, and I was like, bro.
Oh, they get every angle.
Oh yeah, and then just like they zoom in, like the person's like, and they just like zoom in, and
They're falling for like a whole minute.
So we are gonna watch Mission Impossible from 1996. A couple things that I want you guys to well, you'll notice 100% when we watch it is this movie is very much a 90s movie. It's a movie about spies. It's a movie about this crazy technology. It's essentially a sci-fi movie, but you'll notice that it's a very 90s movie. So there's going to be, I mentioned this earlier, there's going to be a lot of things, references that I'm going to say. You won't understand. That's fine. I'll explain them to you if I can. You're going to see a lot of things that you're like, wait, what? They did that? I want you to look out for what people thought the internet was in 1996. Because it's pretty hilarious. You'll get halfway through the
What's Wi-Fi?
Oh, nobody knew what that was, bro. Just want you to look out for the technology that was peak technology back in 1996.
Okay.
That now is 100% obsolete.
Even kids in their diapers know.
Yeah, like I don't even. I'll point out some technologies, and I know you guys won't know what the heck that is. And even okay. So another thing I want you to look out for is the music. So Mission Impossible, you'll hear it, but it has a very famous music score.
Okay.
Dun 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 dun
okay.
dun. Okay, have you heard that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep, very famous. In 5/4 time. For all those music nerds, it's in 5/4 time. There's a couple of other things that I want you to look out for. I want you to look out for how young Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise looks. And then I'm going to discuss the other movies. And maybe we don't have to watch them for content. We can just watch them to watch them. But every single movie in this franchise, except for the last 3, has a different director. And you can tell there's 8 of them now, I think. So the last 3, I think, are the same director, McQuarrie, but the other ones have different directors. And again, and I think you're going to have no idea what I'm going to talk about because I love movies, but I'll explain to you that every single one of these movies is that style of that director. Like if you know anything about movies and you were just to see this movie without knowing who the director is, you're like, oh, that's this director's style. Okay. And then the last thing is, you probably know this, but these movies are known for their stunts. Yeah, they're crazy stunts. This one doesn't have too much crazy ones, but it has 3 stunts that are pretty intense for the time. And you can just see how each movie he like
progresses
to like, in one of them he has a halo jump, which is high altitude, low open, which basically means you jump from a high altitude and you open your parachute at a low altitude.
Oh, okay.
And he actually does that, like for reals.
Like
I think I saw that. Like only that clip.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he'll progress in that. So, any questions for me, you guys? What do you guys think about going into this movie?
ready.
You ready? You're
Excited.
excited. Was this a movie that you would have watched if I hadn't made you watch it for content?
No.
I feel like you would have eventually.
Yeah, I would have.
You probably wouldn't have.
No.
But I know that, and then speaking with Jose, that a lot of movies you've seen that are like classics, like i.e. Star Wars, were movies that he made you watch.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But now you like them, right?
Yeah, but it's never been like coming from me.
That you're your own initiative.
Yeah.
So what do you feel about the Star Wars movies?
Well, I like them, but because also he introduced them to
Okay.
me.
But you wouldn't have.
But yeah, I would have never watched them.
Do you get the hype now of like why
Yeah.
people? Okay. Well, that's good.
I talk to her sometimes. Like I made her watch like some of the series, like Obi-Wan, and then what else did I show you?
You said you were talking about the Alkalite.
Yeah, no, but I showed her a bit of the press conference, like those, like the actors, how they would talk, the reviews on how they would just they talked, and then it seemed like they didn't really know about the show.
Hello
or
there.
Star Wars. Yeah, I did show her the ending of Clone Wars, the animated series,
Oh,
the
yeah.
last couple
The
episodes.
Clone Wars.
Yeah, and I showed her that, and I was like, yo. And then the Bad Batch, we've been watching.
The Bad
it
Batch.
a
I have
little
not seen
bit.
the Bad Batch in its entirety. I think I saw the first 2 episodes.
We haven't ended the first season yet, but we have enjoyed it. It's
The
been
thing
good.
about Star Wars is there's just so much, bro. I wouldn't say I'm a casual, but I'm not like a Star Wars nerd. Like
You have moments.
I know more than the average person,
Yeah.
but like with Star Wars nerds, like I can't compete.
Okay.
Not like Dayanara over here. She's a big Star Wars nerd.
Yeah, of course.
My favorite line in the entire series of Star Wars is, Master Anakin, there's too many of them. What we gonna do?
And then, boom.
He killed a bunch of kids.
Don't know how I feel about it.
Don't think he's that redeemable, but whatever. All right, you guys ready to watch?
Yeah.
Not Star Wars, but Mission Impossible, another franchise.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do this. Let's do it for TC, Tom Cruise. Look, speaking of Paris, Paris is on my computer.
Nice. Numerigato gozaimasu.
What? What are you talking about, bro? Alrighty.
She's Korean, not Japanese. so.
I don't know who you were even talking about. I don't even know who you were talking about, to be honest with you.
안녕하세요.
Anyways, alrighty then, guys. What an absolute banger of a movie. What do you guys think about it?
Oh, it was awesome. I enjoyed it.
Good. What about you, Diana?
I liked it too, but I feel like it got to the point where it was predictable.
What?
It got predictable when she came back. The room.
Okay, so that's when you were like, okay, like this is.
Yeah. And I didn't realize that she was the wife.
Oh, okay.
So
At what point did you realize that she was a wife?
I think she mentioned it that he was my husband. And I'm like, oh
Well, yeah, because they say it in the beginning when they're like,
yeah, but
Introducing the
I didn't catch that. So then that's when I started relating it. And then when they were in London
okay.
and he called to like kind of let them know that he was in London, and then the other guy appeared, the one that was a mole. That's when I
Spoiler for this movie. We're gonna spoil this movie entirely.
yes.
Yeah, I guess you could say so. We were watching this movie with another friend of ours, and I think between you, Jose, and him, Dayanara didn't say much, but between you two guys, you guys were like, "Oh, this is what's gonna happen in the movie." I guess it was not like, for today's standards, it probably is very predictable, but in the 1990s, I would say that it's not predictable.
Like I said, I feel like it was like the originator of its kind. Like I feel like
Yeah.
that scene, you know, of what's his name, Ethan?
Yeah, Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt going through the vents of the building, and that scene when he's downloading the files on the disc, him on the rope.
Yeah.
I feel like many movies in a way reference to it. I feel like it's, like I said, it's like the originator of its kind. So at the time, I can see it as like not being predictable, but now since it's like so many movies that have kind of in a way copied the concept, it's basically yeah.
I guess you're right, dude. And from that respect. So let's go through the cast list real quick. And by the way, Dayanara, you have a confession to make about the main actor in this movie, Tom Cruise.
I don't really know who that is.
She doesn't know who he is, guys. TC. Come on, guys. So, okay, it stars Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt. Then Jon Voight, which I mentioned to you guys, is Angelina Jolie's dad, as John Phelps. Emmanuelle Béart is his wife. Reno, which is the Krieger, the other mole. Ving Rhames is Luther. And then Emilio Estevez. Emilio! Anybody who is born in the 90s and 80s knows what I'm talking about when I say Emilio. Very quickly, we'll just go over the plot of the movie. What are you guys laughing at?
Because when you said anybody from the 90s or 80s, we just looked at each other. With
you guys suck. You guys suck.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I get it. You guys are being ageist.
Early 2000s.
You guys are being ageist. That's fine. I was born in the 1900s.
Ancient.
This is something I have to deal with all the time now with people like that age. I'm like, hey guys, like, do you remember? Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna say a lot of things that you guys have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But the plot just basically revolves around this team. They're trying to find a mole. They're trying to find a mole. They think they have this mole that's gonna sell this list of all the agents in Eastern Europe of the CIA that are undercover. But then the whole team dies during that mission, and then they find out from the actual boss, which is Kittredge, that it was just all a mole hunt to find out who the actual mole was. And the only person that's alive is Tom Cruise. Let's talk about the heist, the main heist, the Langley heist. When that scene was going on, when he drops in the vault, you, Jose and Josh, you both were like, oh, we've seen this before. Like, this is from something. Where have you guys seen it before?
I don't know. It's probably like other movies, also shows and cartoons. I think there's like one, like immediately when I was seeing that scene, I was like, to my mind, I don't know if you've heard of this show called Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Yeah,
the Disney show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure there's one episode that talks about them looking for a mole, and I'm pretty sure that the characters, they go through kind of like these like what we just saw Tom Cruise do. He goes through the vents, and then he drops down the rope, and he goes down to look for something. I'm pretty sure that there's an episode that it kind of imitates. It has like the same scenes. So to name you specific, I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure I know I've seen another movie or show that references it.
I'm sure it was like in Kim Possible or something.
Yeah. There's also this other show called Kicking It, like 2010.
Okay.
And exactly the same. That's also, there's one episode they're trying to steal stuff, and the main characters are like spies. They have to go through these like red laser things that are moving, and they have to avoid it. It's kind of like the same thing as what we just watched.
Did you know that scene by any chance, Daya?
No, I didn't, but I got so much anxiety just watching it.
Okay, so you were the one of the persons that like visible or like audibly was like when he like dropped.
Yeah.
So did you find that scene to be like really tense? Even though like my main one of my main worries, I guess, is that a lot of times, and this happens to me too, when I watch movies that are older in my era, they would be like movies from like the 60s or 70s. Sometimes you watch them and people are like, oh, these are amazing movies. And then you watch them and you're like, dude, this is so boring. Did you find that to be the case with this movie, that it was boring?
No.
It was entertaining?
It was entertaining. There would be parts where I was like falling asleep, but overall, I wouldn't say it was boring.
Were you guys able to follow the plot somewhat? I mean, it's not that complicated, but I remember as a child, and even watching it now, I noticed some things that I didn't notice when I was a kid. Were you able to follow the plot of like basically what was going on, like what were they trying to do?
Yeah, I would say like there's probably like a few details I probably missed, but like overall, I kind of understood it.
So in this the first scene when they're doing the first, I guess, heist or trying to find in the Czech embassy, there's a flashback to when Ethan and Kittredge are at the restaurant, the aquarium, which, by the way, why is an aquarium restaurant open at like 12 o'clock at night? I don't know. But the point being that he's replaying all these things in his head, right? And he's like, okay, well, this and this happened. And then they show shots of the other team that was there. I didn't notice the team until like, I think I saw it yesterday. Yeah, like I know like through the flashbacks that's what was happening. And like, obviously there was another team. But if you watch the movie, like the first time when they're going throughout the embassy, you'll see people in the background like stare at the actors. I don't know if you guys caught that.
No, I didn't.
So this was the first time I actually noticed that.
Really? I think I did when like I think they were going through the crowd in the hotel, and there were people that were like staring at him, and I was like, that's weird, breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, so like there were some that are obvious and they're meant to be obvious, like the drunk couple outside.
Oh yeah,
that one was obvious because you know he puts his when the guy gets shot, he puts his like ear. He puts his fingers to his ear like he's talking to somebody. But when the waiter, when they were on the stairs, looks at the actress and then like other stuff like that. So this was the first time I noticed that. One of the other details was the knife. Did you guys even notice about the knife until until I said it? Not even when they actually showed it in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw it once it did the flashback. Then I realized it. But
did you guys suspect that that Frenchman was a traitor at some point? I mean, because he wasn't part of the actual team. He was just like somebody that came on later to like do the heist. Did you guys suspect that he was going to be a baddie? Not that kind of baddie, but like my version of a baddie.
No, I didn't.
What about you? What about you, bro? Did you get a sense of that?
No, not from him. No. Because I mean, I did see that like the tension he had with Ethan, but I thought it was just like tension. That was just him being him. But
that was just him being French.
Yeah, that was basically. But I didn't get the vibes that he was like sus in any way, or he was from the other side. No, not. I didn't get those vibes from him.
All right, so I want to go over a few things that I told you about. Like I was saying, so this is the first one of the series. There was actually some kind of controversy. I guess you could say controversy. So in the show that was in the 60s and the 80s, the main character was Jim Phelps, and he was like the good guy.
Okay.
But in this movie, they made him the bad guy, and so that was like a lot of things that the fans of the show were like, "What are you guys doing?" You know, it's like what's a version I can think of today? I guess if like Batman, they had like throughout his whole career was like, and they made a new movie, and then Batman is like the bad guy,
evil. Okay,
the evil. That's kind of, I guess, how you would say it.
Okay.
But so then I think the characters of Ethan like were added later, and so we were talking about some of the technologies in this movie.
Oh yeah,
hilarious. Some of the stuff, even for me, like to think that like I wouldn't say, yeah, I guess I would use some of that stuff. Mm-hmm. Those computers are huge.
Yeah. Very huge.
Even like by today's standards, especially the monitor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was big. It was like all squared up, all round.
Did you guys ever use any computers like that big?
Not that big.
No.
No. I think when I was in elementary, we had a computer class, and we had big PCs, big computers, but they weren't as thick as those.
Okay.
Ones. They were thicker than nowadays.
They were thick.
Yeah, thick.
With the 2 C's or
2 C's?
Okay.
But those ones were 3 C's. The ones in the movie.
Yeah, dude. And I was thinking about this, and I was saying this in when we were watching the movie, that the laptops were actually kind of small.
Yeah, very small. Ooh,
like I was looking at my
smaller than that one right there.
It's about the size of mine. Maybe the screen was a little smaller, but okay. The other technologies. Have you guys ever used floppy disks in your life before?
No, I was laughing when I saw them.
What's a floppy disk?
Don't start, bro.
Are you just talking about a regular disc, or
no? She knows what it is.
Isn't it like a USB port? What?
It's the disc where they put
drive.
It's the disc where they put the knock list on.
Oh, okay.
That's a floppy disk.
Okay. That's a floppy disk.
It's a floppy disk.
Okay, I know what a disc is.
Or version of it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you would use to like
download stuff.
It was like your SIM card.
Okay.
But it could only download like.
So if you're
2
asking
megabytes.
me if I ever used it, I've never used one of those in my life.
Have you ever used a payphone?
No.
I don't think we've ever even used a house phone.
You know what?
You never used a landline?
You know what? Yes, I have used a payphone back when I was a little kid.
Don't say it like
when I was a little kid.
Don't say it like you're Indiana Jones discovering like something from like an ancient temple. No. I remember back in 2025.
I remember, yeah. My mom used to take me down to El Ranchito where we used to live. There used to be a payphone right there in the parking lot. And I remember my mom used it once to call my grandma in it. I just remembered it
When
right
was
now.
this?
When I was like 4 or 5, I remember. You were still like, I don't even know.
That's
if
hilarious.
You were a little girl. But yeah, I remember. Man, good old days.
Okay, that was another thing I was talking about. They give somebody, they give Sarah, her name is Sarah. They give her like a glasses with a camera on them, and they're like super thick.
Yeah.
Like, okay, fine, whatever. But then Ethan's glasses that has a
thin.
camera, they're super thin.
Yeah.
Wait, where was the camera?
Yeah, exactly. Where was the camera on Ethan's?
I was like, is it the
They were like-
lenses?
Oh my gosh, yes. The other ones that Sarah had looked like a Meta, like the Meta
Oh
glasses.
my God, bro.
It's like how could anybody not, like, if you were to see that, I'd be like, hey, is that a camera on your glasses? Okay, other technologies, cassette tapes.
Yes.
When they were in okay, so I know that you guys have never been on a plane before, whatever, but nowadays either in the back of the seat, like the seat in front of you, the headrest, will have a TV on it.
Okay.
And there you can just plug in your headphones. You still actually need these, and you plug it in and you can watch movies.
Okay, cool.
Or like on Southwest, you can just connect to their Wi-Fi, their free Wi-Fi, and you can just watch movies through your phone, like a streaming service.
Okay.
But back in the day, you could only get it in first class, and they would have to bring you like a cassette tape, like a little, not the regular VHS ones, but like a mini version of it.
Okay.
And then be like, "Would you like to watch a movie?" And you're like, "Yeah, I guess so." So, have you ever seen those at all? Like those mini?
No, those mini ones. No. It was my first time when at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
That's when I saw it, and I was like, I sent it to you, and I was like, yo, that's cool. They had a VHS right there, and they had a very small TV right there, like a very small screen that popped up.
By the way, you're not able to smoke on airplanes anymore. Not since like the 1990s.
He did pull a cigarette
smoke.
out. Yeah, that's true.
I remember being on flights. Not that people weren't. So when I was old enough to start flying regularly around this time, the mid 90s, I remember being on planes where they still had the cigarette, like, so your armrest would have like a little ashtray in it, like to put your cigarettes out.
Really?
Yeah, even though people weren't allowed to smoke anymore on the planes, I still remember doing that. And that's why, nowadays airplanes still have smoke detectors, just so people don't, like, if they do smoke it, like, they'll notice it. In the beginning, the scene where they're doing the fake out heist, did you notice the size of the needle?
Yes.
It's so huge, dude.
I'm like, it's so thick.
Like, I mean, now needles are like
pretty thin.
You don't even feel them. I got a shot yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, I felt it though, because she didn't, like, she was like, okay, and then like she literally went like
stabbed you.
Yeah, stabbed me with it. It's like, dude, I know, like, it's almost time for you to go, but
take it easy.
Some of the things I did like about this was some of the stunts that he did.
Yes.
So, what'd you think about the scene in the aquarium restaurant?
That was cool.
That was really intense.
I liked it. It was very cool. And you said it was they only had one try.
If I'm not mistaken, they only had one try to do that, because it's like, well, you can't really set up a whole aquarium. I mean, there weren't any fish in it.
Yeah.
But the water, and they had to, like, it all had to break, and he had to, like, run.
I like the way it was organized. I don't know about you, but I mean, if you compare it to like CGI nowadays, it's like they do a lot of stuff. It doesn't look real, but this one looks. I was very satisfied. It was like very cool watching that.
I'm like, imagine if he chirps.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, like, when he's running out, there's like a guy in front of him, and he has to jump over him.
Yeah, I saw him. I saw him do that. He jumped over. He was like, "Whoa!"
Imagine, like you said, imagine if he falls and he just like drowns in like a pool of water. And like,
yeah.
Oh, that's the end of the movie. Sorry, guys.
No redos.
Did you notice that the two guys there was actually three, but two guys that Ethan Hunt or Tom Cruise impersonated? So the one in the beginning, and then the one that was the senator.
Yes.
They just look like him.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was trying to impersonate somebody else. It was just like, oh, this person kind of just looks like Ethan Hunt.
Yeah.
So they do that a lot in the other movies where he impersonates a character and it just looks like him, but like with a mustache or like a beard.
That's another thing I was going to tell you. Like, I like the disguises. I like the masks. They really look very good. I couldn't tell until he was lifting off the mask. He was ripping it off. And I was like, oh, that wasn't him.
So if I'm not mistaken, there is like that's like two different scenes, like where he has the mask and he takes it off. But you'll notice if you keep watching the movies, it's really cool to see, if you watch the other movies, like the so to speak, the evolution of some of the technologies they have. Because the first two times that Ethan wears a mask, you notice, like I said, he imitates somebody that he looks like. So he moves and he talks and stuff like that. At the end, when he was imitating Phelps, you saw that he was just like still, and he didn't move.
Mm-hmm. It's in the shadows as well.
Yeah. As the movies could progress, they're able to like talk, use like voice modulators. The masks like fit really well. They're able to make like suits. And then I think it's in the fourth one where there's like a portable mask maker where it's like a 3D printer.
way.
Yeah. With a 3D printer. So it's really, and not only with that, but also like with some of the other technologies, it's cool to see how like it evolves. Like, do you think, even in 1996, do you think that a lot of the stuff that they had there like could exist? Like, it's a sci-fi movie, it's a spy movie. Some of the things, like, to me, they seem plausible. Because it's like the tracker that she put on the guy in line, it was like really small. It wasn't like huge. Do you think that some of those technologies like could actually like?
I do think so.
Possibly, yeah. Just the gum one, I'm like,
the gum one would, yeah. Well, if it was plastic, because I know there's like plastic explosives. But other than that,
I do think, like, for example, yeah, like the tracker. I mean, today's technology. I mean, we were talking about it. Technology has grown so much ever since then.
30 years, bro.
30 years. I feel like yes.
Yeah.
Back then, that could have been like that's like just to stick it to the sci-fi world, the fantasy world.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I feel like it is plausible. It is.
It was really funny to see we were talking about this. What they thought the internet was back in the day.
Oh yeah, that was crazy as well. Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you ever used like internet?
Yes, but I mean, it wasn't like that. It was modern.
But also too, like the first time you used internet, you weren't like, oh my God, this is amazing. It was just like, oh, it was something that was around. Like when I used it, like when we got internet, we were just like, dude, everybody was at my house like, oh my gosh, you got internet. And it was, okay, let me explain it to you from what I remember internet being, and you can chime in. So one, it was one of those old computers that had a tower, right?
Okay.
Like, you know how like gamers have?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
but it wasn't for that. It had like no memory on it.
Oh.
It was just because that's how big it was.
Okay.
In order to get internet, you would need to use your landline, your phone line.
Okay.
Okay. If you were using the internet, nobody could make a call. No calls could go out, because it went through that line. You would use a disc to install the internet. It was a CD at the time when we got it. You would use a CD, and it was usually AOL, which doesn't exist anymore, America Online. You've got mail. And then you would hear, I don't know if you've heard this sound before, it's like, like that's literally the sound would make when it's trying to connect to the
really
internet. Yeah.
I thought it was fake.
Nope, that's real.
You've heard it?
Yes.
Oh yes. I know what you're doing. Okay. Now I know what you're talking about.
And then if somebody tried to use the phone, like it would cut off, and like to download anything, like would take you forever. Then when DSL came out, that was the business, because that was like high speed internet.
Jeez. Okay.
Wait, did you use pagers?
Bro.
I'm offended by the question, but also, yeah, I did.
It's a genuine question.
Yeah, I did.
No way. Really?
I didn't have one, but my mom had one, and I used to like.
Wait, so what would you get in that on a pager? What was the purpose for? No, I'm really curious. I'm not trying to be mean.
So the purpose was that before cell phones, you would call on a landline because they didn't have cell phones, or even on cell phone. But someone had a pager, you would just send them. You would call that number on your phone, and it would like an operator, but like an automatic, like an automated voice would come up, and it would say like, "Would you like to leave a message?" And then you would type in them, like you would type in basically your phone number. And they would go to the person, they would get it on the page, it would go beep, beep, and they'd be like, oh snap, I got a page. And it would just be your phone number. So that would basically tell them like to call you.
Ah, okay.
Literally the dumbest thing of like technology. Like the only people that use pagers now are doctors.
Okay.
Like the only reason they use them is, they use them to like, oh, I got a page, I got to go to, I'll ask my cousin who's a doctor.
How old are you when you first watched this movie?
I was probably the age when it came out, so I was 10.
Okay.
Yeah, because it came out in 96.
Grown watching these movies.
Oh yeah. These are like I was telling you, and we'll talk about it a little bit more. But I feel the first one is a great starting point. Like Josue was saying, it's like basically like him coming together. I heard that. That was your stomach. Hopefully that's not the food I made you that made you sick, but yeah, like the first movie is basically him, like his origin story, basically. And then the second one was kind of it's kind of iffy. Then the other three, was it 4 or 5, 6, 7, just keep getting better. So hopefully 8 is really good. I think you guys should watch the movies. You have Paramount, and I think they're Paramount movies.
They're all on there.
Are you interested, Diane, in watching the rest of the movies?
Yes, but I would wait a month or 2.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think I need to
Decompress?
Yes.
What about you?
I would grind. Watch
grind
all of them. Man.
Bro, if you grind them, holler at your boy.
Yeah.
I'll watch them again.
All right.
So I'm gonna geek out a little bit on you guys.
All right. Go ahead.
Because I've actually written this down. I'm gonna turn. So these movies are directed by different directors, and I mentioned that you can tell their styles, right? So the first one, if you notice, we were talking about this when you were gone for a little bit. I don't know if you noticed in some of the scenes, like the camera angle was like tilted and it was like panned into their face.
Yeah.
So that is a very much a style of the guy who directed this movie. His name is Brian De Palma. Again, I know you don't know those names, but he directed, we were saying Scarface.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The second movie, this is the reason I like these movies, because not only are they good, but each movie is like a calling card or has like something specific that like you watch and you're like, okay, that's that director. The second one is directed by this guy named John Woo. John Woo was a Hong Kong film director and invented, or he popularized, this type of movies called like gun fu, which is basically like integrating kung fu with like guns.
Okay.
So there's movies from back in the day called Face Off. Basically, the second movie, it's literally that. Very stylized violence, and if you see it, there's scenes where like people are shooting and literally like doves just fly like kind of in the background, and you're like,
no way.
Where did these doves come from? Then you might have heard of this guy's name. The third one is directed by J.J. Abrams.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
J.J. Abrams. You haven't, but he directed the new Star Trek movies and 2 of the new Star Wars movies.
Yes.
Those movies use a lot of what they call lens flares.
Okay.
It looks like the sun is shining in your face, and that's his style of like movies.
Okay.
Then the fourth one is very much the word I'm looking for. What's the word I'm looking for? Anachronistic, meaning like technologies that seem out of place for the time. So the movie was directed by Brad Bird. He was the one that directed The Incredibles. So I know you've seen The Incredibles. You haven't though, right?
Nope.
I don't get that.
Probably like 1/4 of it, but in school. I've never actually
The Incredibles, like,
it.
Well, I might have you on for The Incredibles because The Incredibles, I think, is one of the best superhero movies.
Really?
Not even a cartoon, not like literally one of the best superhero movies.
Up there with Marvel.
It's literally the best Fantastic Four movie.
Okay.
That's literally what it is.
Really?
Anyways,
okay.
But if you were to see number 4 and you know that Brad Bird directed that and you know The Incredibles, you'd be like, oh, it's like a cartoon kind of almost, but like in a good way. And then the other ones are all directed by this one director. So that's what I do like about these movies, and hopefully you guys can watch them. And I know you said you're gonna take like a month to like decompress this movie.
I might have to watch this one again so
Really?
I can
to
watch
understand
all
it
of them.
again, and then you can watch the other
the reason I asked you if it was kind of hard to follow the plot, because the plot is not hard to follow, but I remember having to watch this like a couple times when I was a kid to like really get it, and then it kind of all made sense. So okay, now I figured this one out in this one. In your opinion, is the IMF part of the CIA, or is it's its own thing?
That's
It's
a
its
good
own
question.
thing, no?
In this movie, no, it's part of the CIA.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, but I didn't get that sense until like right now. Like I had to look it up because I was asking myself. Because in the later movies, it's not. It's like its own thing.
It becomes its own thing.
It becomes its own thing.
Okay. I mean, I can understand it being part of the CIA because so they're looking for the mole. They hire their own group to like investigate their people because they're supposedly working for them. So I can see the IMF working for CIA. Yeah.
Was there some things that you like kind of were like, oh, I don't really understand that, or like I really didn't get that part? Like you say, you didn't know that they were married until she says it, right?
Mm-hmm.
They do mention it in the beginning when they're having the meeting for like the next heist. And
yeah.
And then
the table.
Phelps says like, "Oh, don't make fun of my wife's coffee," or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Were there any things that like you were like, "Oh, I didn't understand that," like going in?
The purpose for the list, well, like that's something that I didn't understand.
I don't get that either. Like, why would you? I mean, other than to know what your undercover. So the knock list is the list of all the undercover agents that the CIA has.
Okay.
So in the beginning, they were going to steal the Eastern European one, and then Max, the arms dealer, wanted all of them. So that's why they stole it. Like, but I don't understand why you have this list that you can just download from like a computer. Like that doesn't make any sense.
No. I mean, does it affect the next movies in any way, or is it just for this movie?
It's just for this movie.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Like that's the question I still got.
So every single movie except the 5 through 8, so basically 1 through 4 are their own thing.
Okay.
Then you have some recurring characters, but the stories don't bleed into each other.
Okay.
5 through, and I think 8 are all kind of one narrative.
They follow each other.
They kind of follow each other, yeah.
Okay, cool.
For sure, 7 and 8 are like the ones that like follow each other. But yes, that doesn't make any really sense. That like, why would they have a list? Another thing, if you noticed, and this was the first time I noticed it, when they're in the vault with the knock list, and Ethan's hanging above him, above the guy, like 20 feet above him. If you look on the ground, you could see all the reflection of all the lights from the above, but you can't see Ethan's. It literally looks like they CGI like blocked it, so like you can't
see his shadow.
Because like, I don't know about you, but I would be like, I would look on the floor and then I'd see like, oh,
yeah,
it's a dude up there.
Yeah.
And he wasn't that high up either.
No, he wasn't that high up.
How did he like sense him?
Exactly. Me too. Like I would sense like
somebody looking at me.
Somebody like up there with the rat or whatever. By the way, have you ever been sick like that? Like that guy?
I think I have, yes.
I legit know I have been like that sick. To the point where I'm like, I'm crying because I'm like, I don't have anything. There's nothing in my body anymore.
Oh my God. I think that happened to me once. I'm not trying to be disgusting, but
no, I mean,
it's warning.
Trigger warning.
You know, like Takis?
Yeah.
So once.
Did you eat like a bunch of Takis?
Like one of the big bags.
Oh God, bro.
And I ate, I think in one sitting, it was like 11 or 12 at night. I was laying down and I ate the whole bag. So I chugged some soda. And then I woke up the next morning and I felt full. I felt like all like nauseous. And then just next thing I went to the restroom and then.
Were they the, I was going to say, were they the blue ones? Because that would have been interesting.
No. It was before the blue ones came out. But imagine.
You don't have to answer this question because, you know, ladies or whatever, unless you want to.
I mean, I haven't.
Oh, dude, it's terrible. Like I have a very weak stomach just in general. Like if I eat air that's contaminated, I'll die.
The most for me is that I'll get sick with like fever, but like not.
But not like that guy. Poor guy, dude. He had nothing to do with it, and then they send him off to where they send him to? Alaska.
Yeah, that's right.
Alaska. Poor guy. He was just doing his job. Could you imagine like you're like in one of the most secure rooms in the world, and then you come back like after throwing up, and then there's just a knife on the, and then you're like,
I'm cooked.
Oh snap!
I'm cooked.
So all in all, guys, what'd you think about this movie? Like final thoughts?
I like it. I gave it a solid 7.5.
How many black knives do you give it out of 5?
Out of 5?
Out of 10?
Out of 10, I'll give it. You know what? I'll give it an 8.
I'll give it an 8. Okay.
For its time, the story, the action.
Being that it's an older movie for you guys, you guys were following it the whole time.
I like the whole plot. Honestly, I was intrigued from the beginning. Like Dayanara said, I'll probably have to watch it again to understand it again, like fully. But I really didn't like it. I did like it.
What about you?
I'll give it an 8. It was nice. It's not in my top though.
Is this kind of your type of movie or not really?
Yeah.
I did like, and we were all kind of having fun, even though I knew about it. But when Ethan was figuring everything out, that we were like, oh snap, like he's alive, or like, you know, like, oh, it's her. Oh wait, no, it's not her. Is it her? You know, like, and then at the end you do like realize like, oh, when he takes off the mask and you're like, oh snap, he got you.
And we asked you as well. I think me and Josue, we asked you like,
is the Phelps alive? And is he really dead? And I was like, no, he did. Oh, he did.
And then we see him. I was like, you lie.
Well, I had to lie in order to keep the mystery of the movie. It's such a good movie, and hopefully you guys can. So the new one comes out May 22nd,
something like that. This spring, summer.
Yeah. So we still got 3 months. So hopefully you guys can watch all 7 of them, and then we can go watch the movie.
I think I will.
It'll most likely make me.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, dude, such an amazing song. Such a great song.
Does it follow all the movies?
Every single one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
And like in this movie, and even in the other ones, like when the song comes on, like you're like, oh, something's about to go down. Like something.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Like in this one where it was cool how they did the beat when he's like, and you really think we can do this? And he's like, we're gonna do this. Dun 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 dun. And at the end where he's at the helicopter,
yeah,
and he's like, red light. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you, Dayanara.
You're very welcome.
I do want to do another one with you, but it's like it'll be a short film because I want to see what you think about this.
Godly.
This short film, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Okay.
It's yeah, we'll get to that eventually. And you, my friend, I think you like. So I sent you movies that are very popular.
Yes.
Right? And again, you guys haven't seen them, which is fine. Like you guys are young, obviously. Like you haven't gotten to
watch all
of them.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to do those movies that are very popular that I want to do that I know a lot of my older friends have seen. So like, okay, another movie. Have you seen The Karate Kid?
No.
I've contemplated on watching them.
The OG one?
The OG ones, because I know, especially since a new one is coming out this summer.
Have you seen OG? I know you haven't seen OG Twister.
No.
We've seen Twisters. We saw it together.
We saw Twisters, the one that came out
What about OG Jurassic Park?
Neither. No.
We're going to have to watch some of those movies.
Yeah.
We can just do it without having to
cool. Yeah,
talk about it. You're like, yeah. You're like, because now I feel like every time I invite somebody over, they're like, oh, are we going to do it?
Fine again?
I'm like, yes, everything for content.
I don't mind.
Alrighty then, guys. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, man.
That's all for this.
Till next time.
Yes. This is El Tío Brian signing off.
Toodaloo.
That's how you want it? Toodle. Toodle, guys.